9-7, similar triangles and indirect measurement. Two triangles that have the same angle measurements and proportional side measurements are said to be similar. So, triangle ABC is similar to triangle XYZ. And a symbol that you need to know is the squiggly line in between the ABC and the XYZ. That means similar. Over on the left-hand side in blue, we're going to show that the angles are the same and the side lengths are proportional. So we know that angle A is congruent to angle X, the one little hash mark at the A and the one little hash mark at the X. Angle B is congruent to angle Y, and angle C is congruent to angle Z. And the proportions are side AB is proportional to side XY. That's equal to side BC, which is proportional to YZ, and finally AC over XZ. So these are showing that the sides are proportionally related, and we know that the angles are exactly the same. They're congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent. All right, so there's some math that's going to go along with this today. And we need to find X. We have two triangles, triangle DEF and a triangle ABC. They are proportional. So we're going to set up a proportion to find side FE, the length of X in inches. I would like you to approach this by setting up a proportion and putting the missing value in the top left-hand position in the proportion. Always do this. It'll make your cross multiplications and the solutions the same all the way through every single problem. So length X, side FE, corresponds to which side and which length in the other triangle, triangle ABC. FE has one little hash mark and three little hash marks on it. So in the other triangle, we're looking for the side that has the one little hash mark and the three little hash marks, and that happens to be side BC. So length X corresponds to length 6 inches. Going back to the original triangle, the larger of the two triangles, because we have the missing variable on the top in the first part of the proportion, we need a corresponding side from that triangle in the top of the second ratio. Now, which side goes with side FD, the 12-inch side? You'll notice that it has one hash mark down by F and two hash marks up by D. So we want to find in triangle ABC which side it corresponds to, which is side AB, which is 8 inches. At this point, we have a proportion, so we're going to solve this proportion to find the value of X by cross multiplication. 8 times X is 8X, and 6 times 12 is 72. Now, the nice thing about having the missing variable, the missing value in the upper left-hand portion of the proportion itself, is the variable always ends up on the left-hand side. So we don't have to switch anything around. It's where we want the variable to be. Now we have 8x equals 72. We divide both sides by 8. And we know that side FE, the length of x, is 9 inches. On this board, again, we have to find the variable x, which is side GH in the bottom triangle. But if you look at these two triangles, they are not oriented nicely like the two triangles on this board, where you can see that the bottom of triangle ABC corresponds to the bottom of triangle DEF. So now we have to use the hash marks to help us make sure that we get things set up correctly. First, we write out our proportion. The missing value goes in the top left-hand position. We now need to know which side corresponds to GH in the other triangle. G has one little hash mark, H has two little hash marks, so that's what we're looking for in the other triangle. That actually happens to be JK, so we'll put 12 in the denominator. For the second ratio, we will go back to the original triangle where the x is the missing value, and we'll take the 10 from that triangle. Now we need to know which side corresponds to the 10. In the other triangle, we're given actually 18 and 24, sort of to confuse you, to make you try and use the hash marks and think about what it's going to be. HL, the side HL where the 10 inches is, has 2 hash marks and 3 hash marks. So we want to find the same 2 hash mark, 3 hash mark orientation in the other triangle, and it actually is the 18. Now we cross multiply. And we get 18x equals 120. If we divide both sides by 18, we find that x is 6.6 repeating inches, 6 2/3 of an inch. In this last triangle, we have one triangle embedded into another triangle. So just a different way of looking at things. We will set up our proportion. DC is the missing side, that's x. So we will put that in the upper left-hand position. So we're looking at triangles A, C, D, and triangles A, B, E. Two different triangles that are similar. So which side corresponds with the x? We have 2 hash marks at D and 3 hash marks at C. In the smaller triangle, the embedded triangle, we have 2 hash marks at E and 3 at B. So we're going to use that side, which is 4. Looking at the larger triangle again, where we got the x from, we're going to take the 9, and we have to find out which side corresponds with the 9, and it's actually going to be 6 centimeters. So we will do cross multiplication. We get 6x equals 36. Divide both sides by 6. And we find that x, the missing side, is 6 centimeters. Your homework is on page 474, problems 7 through 16, all of them.